Hi, and welcome to this introduction of the Beca Shutdown Management System. I'm Matt Stevens and have been developing shutdown systems with Beca for over the past 8 years. So to give you a bit of an introduction, we use the shutdown management system as our online database for managing shutdowns. So for us, a shutdown usually contains hundreds, perhaps thousands of individual jobs. So each one of these jobs might be as simple as changing a valve, cleaning a tank, or changing a pump or the like. Each job has a bunch of activities required to carry out the job, with each activity requiring various resources and a duration. Each job may also have certain PDFs associated with it, such as installation manuals and drawings. The jobs may also require scaffolds to do the execution of the work. And finally, each job will most likely have various materials required to carry out the work. Often the materials come from our client's warehouse system with unique stock codes for each material item, so we can build that into our system as well. So the vast majority of our shutdown planning is done through an online portal accessible from anywhere with an internet connection, including mobile devices such as your iPhone, maybe an iPad or smartphone or the like. Once the planning for each job is complete, the work packs can be published via programs that we have developed that will create Excel and PDFs of what you need. The work pack is firstly published as a dumb Excel file, meaning no formulas, and with a tab each for cover page, activities, bill of materials, documents, and photos. The work packs are then also published as PDFs with exactly the same layout as the Excel file, but with the related documents, such as installation manuals and drawings, appended to the PDF also. This, as a package, can then be given to the contractor to carry out the job. So now I've jumped into our shutdown management system to the home page, which defaults to a bunch of graphs that we can customize as you like. So if I start first with our jobs list, I can click on our jobs button and it will take us through to the list of jobs that we have for the shutdown. So here we have our list of 847 jobs for this particular shutdown. I can use these dynamic filters on the left to filter only on the areas that I'm concerned with. So to create these particular jobs in this list here, I can either add them one by one using this new job button, or I can click here and import export from Excel. So let's look at this first example of a job. I can either click on the eyeball or the edit. Let's click on the eyeball to start with as a view only. So here we have all the information that we want. We've got a photo of where it is and a photo of what it is. So under here I can find all the information I require about this job. Overall details of the job, what materials are required, what scaffolds, which is échafaudage in French, are required, what activities are required, documents, etc. So a lot of this is in French at the moment, but we can change all of these to English quite easily. So as a planner, I come in here and I click Edit. So as you can see, it opens up the same page, but now it is editable. So these first boxes are basically for the shut managers to make any comments they want to. So this system allows different roles to be set up for different people. So we've given shut managers access to only these two front boxes. The rest of it they can't touch. They can simply say something in here like change cow to dog. As soon as they save that, that will send an email notification to our planner to say, hey, the shutdown managers think you need to change something within your shutdown work pack. So as I scroll down further, you can change the photos of where it is and what it is. You can change some of the details of the job as you require, and all of this is completely customizable with a little help text as well, depending on what you want. So as we scroll down further, we have a stock bomb, which is basically all of the materials that come from the client's warehouse system. This is automatically linked to data from their system, so if I just put in the stock code number, in here you can see it pops up with the information and the part number, and then I just simply add in how many pieces I want of it. As I keep scrolling down, you can see I've got non-stock parts, which is anything that doesn't come from the client's warehouse system. Échafaudage, which as I said before, was a new scaffolding. So let's, for an example, add a new scaffold. We can add in different buttons here to do different functionality as we require. So ajouter un échafaudage means add a new scaffold, which brings us through to our scaffold request form. Here I can choose all the details I require for the scaffold. So let's just say I choose a direction date of the 8th of June and then a dismantle date of 18th of August. So access demande in this particular case is what it's going to be used for. So let's say scaffolding to reach car. And as I come down to the bottom, I can choose a file to show what kind of scaffolding it is. So perhaps this is a photo that I've marked up to show exactly where the scaffold needs to reach. I simply click save, and it saves it to the database system and takes me back to the job where I want to be. So next on the list is the activities. This is basically all the steps required to carry out the job. In this case, you can just keep on adding activities and resources as required. So here we have one TA, but perhaps we want to change that to a rigger. And we want to say there's 2 riggers, and then we want another resource over here, so we can just keep on adding resources as required. 3 welders. Further down we have documents. This is basically those installation manuals, drawings, permits, anything that you need as a document supporting the job that you want to give to the contractor. This again has the capability of uploading files to the system if that's where you choose to store them. Or you can have links to your document management system just as easily. Further down we have a risk evaluation, which is basically just a background calculation based on certain criteria. If I change these numbers around, you can see that the resultant level of risk changes as well. And finally, we have different tick boxes for different work permits. So all of this that you've seen is completely customizable to how you work. We have our own ideas and we can bring them, but of course, if you have your own, we can customize that to what you need. Finally, down the bottom is our progress. So in this particular case, you can see that the planning is almost all complete, except for the fact that the final work pack is yet to be published. The planners can either come through here and change these numbers individually, or they can scroll up to the top, and through the Jobs menu, they can find other reports to more quickly access this. You can choose a whole range of different reports that you need to view the same different information in easier ways. So if I type in progress here, for example, I can click on planning progress, which takes me through to an easy way to update all those KPIs. Let's say I'm in charge of the boilers area. I can just click on the boilers subfilter and then simply grid edit. So this brings me through to a grid edit which behaves in a similar way to spreadsheets. Let's say for reinstalling the front door, I suddenly decide that I'm not actually 100% through with drafting activities. I can put in 50% through here. Now likewise, because it's a spreadsheet, similar sort of thing, I can copy these straight down and I can easily edit all of my KPIs at once. And you can see that this bomb complete tick box turns off because this relates to a KPI later on. So let's cancel out of that now. And we can go back to the home page. So the home page can be used to show different reports or different graphs to show an overall high-level view of what you want to see. In this particular case, we have a risk ranking for each of the jobs. So that evaluation risk ranking that we saw before calculates through, and you can summarize on this graph here to see all of those jobs. So for this example, we have risk level 9 in the packaging area. We can see there's 80 jobs. I can then click on that box and it takes me through to those 80 jobs. If I jump back, the other thing that we can do with these dynamic graphs is change the filters on them. So if I turn off some of these, I can just focus on the low risk ones. Likewise, we can split up the job and show it in different graphs in many different ways. So in this particular case, we've shown what type of job it is, and you can see from it that there's 173 jobs that are replacement jobs. So further down, you can see we have a planning progress S-curve. This is basically a baseline target against how we're tracking at the end of each week. You can have other lists in here, other graphs as you require, and you can also link other pages to here as well. So we have a specific page called the progress page. If I click on this, you can see it takes me to the overall progress planning and also a breakdown by area of the progress in each different area. You can see we also have that same planning KPI S-curve that we had on the previous page. And down the bottom here, we have different graphs for the status of the work packs for the different areas. So you can see that in the packaging area, we've completed 20, but we still have a massive 52 outstanding, whereas the warehouse is doing a lot better with 63 done and only 16 outstanding. So some of the other things that we can do is, because we have different roles for different people, we can have a kittist who basically takes the materials required to the job and puts it on a kit. The kittist can simply come through here and you can see that they only see the tables that they require. They can choose their job, and within their job they can tick off the materials as they come in. Once all the materials are complete for their work pack, it will send a notification to the planner, in this case Chris. So the really neat thing about this being an online internet database, while you have a secure access, you can send this to other people with the same secure access as a link. So I can just send that and it will send a report of the same thing that you're seeing here. The other thing is you can create exports from here. So you can create an export to something like Primavera P6 to do your resource leveling, or Microsoft Project. Or you can create an export that you can create a Google Earth KML file. So in this example, I've created a little file here with Workpack 1001. So if I click on this, it brings up the picture of the car and also a link back to the database. So that pretty much wraps it up for our shutdown management system. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact me at matt.stevens@beca.com. Thanks.